Hello, fellow translators, freelancers, linguists, all of you. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that many of you are probably interested in, and that is the classics and books and classic books, basically. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about them is because A, I think they are quite interesting, and I think they're very good. In recent years, I've actually gotten very interested in quite a few classic books because I think they were sort of ruined for me, and I think for many people back in school when they're taught very often by teachers who aren't very good. But even when they're taught by teachers who are good, unfortunately the way it's taught in school is you have to really dissect them and go through each and every detail, and as a student you get bored with it, you don't want to deal with it, etc., etc. And so once you get out of school you don't want to deal with them anymore, you just deal with what's coming out now because that's cooler and better than before. But on the other hand, the fact is, if these are classics that are still being read now, there's a reason for that, usually. And so the fact that they are classic probably means that there's some good material in there. And so just more recently, I've actually become really interested in many classic books and from many different places, not only English ones, but all over the place. And I really like to read them. And the way I usually read them is I read them from beginning to end, because they always come, all the classic books always come with an introduction. They come with a preamble, a foreword, a this or that or whatever, and it's always, a lot of people who kind of want to attach their name, want to give you the background, want to talk about this and that edition, all that. I skip all of that. If I want, I can always go back and look at details or something, but I always just read the book. I want to read the book the way the author intended to. When the author wrote it the first time, by the way. Even if the author, him or herself, writes an introduction to like the second, third edition or something like that, I skip that. I want to read it the way it first came out, just from beginning to end, and I try to read as little about it as possible in other places. Obviously, for many of the classics, you're going to hear about them anyway, but I do want to try to just get a flavor for the book itself. And so along those lines, I want to talk to you about classic books. And many people might get mad at, well, I don't know, I don't think they'll get mad at me for this, but the fact is, these classic books, not only they're great literature, but they're accessible to everyone. So many, I think the majority of classic books you can get for free. And so you really don't need to pay for them to enjoy them. And you can still pay for them. I know they have a lot of collections that are really nice. They're great to give as presents and stuff like that. So absolutely go buy, your copy of all the classic books you want. But if you just want to read them and get through them, there are many ways to read them for free. One is just to Google them. Very often it pops up and you can either find the PDF or something like that. Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with either a PDF or some digital format or something more often than not. But if you can handle that, then that's fine. Another thing that I like is to use LibriVox. I don't know if you know, LibriVox gives audiobooks, but it's all done by volunteers. And obviously it's stuff that's not copywritten or anything like that, which tends to be classics. So you can find many, if not most of the classics there on LibriVox, LibriVox.org. And there are also many other options. Very often bookstores, what I find, or libraries or stuff like that, when they have their sales, they give away these classics because they're just available there. More often than not, if they're classics, by the way, some friend or family or someone who has it, and you can ask to borrow it and read it and give it back. So anyway, there are many ways to get your hands on these classics, and so I just recommend reading them, and you don't necessarily have to pay for them, is what I'm saying. It's nice to have if you want the collection, but there are many ways to get it for free. And in fact, here, I can show you quickly, and let's see if I'm able to find any for free. Okay, so here we're at Google. I'm going to look for, let's see what I'm going to look for. Jane Austen. Let's get one of the lesser known ones of Jane Austen. Mansfield, there we go, Mansfield Park. And let's see what pops up. Mansfield Park. Read now, full book available. Book preview, full book available. And this is what you get very often. You'll get the full book available, and you can just click read now, and then you can read it now. And there you go. Unfortunately, it's scanned, and so it's a digital version. If you, depending on what your situation is, maybe you can even print it out. And wow, this is like first edition. Oh no, reprinted. Yeah, no, first edition 1906. That wouldn't be the first edition, but it's still an old edition. That's interesting. Actually, this would almost be worth reprinting and binding. Anyway, but here, let's try a couple other ones. I want to try Promessi Sposi in. This is Italian. Promessi Sposi books, Google Books. Let's see if they have the whole book. Let's see this one too. Let's see what pops up. Promessi Sposi, Manzoni. It looks like they have the whole book. Wait, oh, this is the English version. Oh, wow, you can even get it in English. Okay. So Promessi Sposi, by the way, is one of the main works of literature in Italian. It is probably, the Divine Comedy is the number one, Promessi Sposi is the number two. Let's try something in Chinese, like Romance of the Three Kingdoms. This is a classical Chinese book. So here, Three Kingdoms, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Yeah. By Luo Guanzhong. Let's see. Obviously, this is in English. Oh, it's yeah. Wait. Yeah, so here we have it in English. So apparently they have them all available in English. Now, I'm in the States and I changed my Google to American Google. I'm not going to change it back to the Swiss or the Italian one. So, so you can experiment and see if it works better for different languages depending on what you read. But yeah, if you read in English, you know, you find them for all languages. And this is quite interesting. So anyway, if in conclusion, if you want to read any classics, they are available in many different languages, and they're all available for free. Unfortunately, it seems like, actually, since I'm here, why don't I show you LibriVox as well? I haven't gone to that website in a long time, actually, but I used to use it all the time to listen to books that interested me. Here, this is for volunteers to read and listen. Here's a catalog. Read by volunteers around the world, free public domain books. So they're all public domain. But you're going to find quite a few ones, and many of them are quite good quality as well. So let's see, let's go to the title. Yeah, so they have stuff they do have stuff in different languages, I know. Obviously, English is what they have the most in. But let's just go through and see. I mean, I haven't even heard of most of these. Like some unknown ones by Dumas. I mean, unknown for me, maybe I'm just... and here they have Victor Hugo translated into Spanish. You know, but once again, you look for pretty much anyone. Let's say I'm looking for well, we have Mansfield Park already. I don't know, Northanger Abbey. Absolutely. Version 2, oh wow, we got many versions of Northanger Abbey. Anyway, so this can definitely be an option as well. I highly recommend either LibriVox or just Googling it and seeing what pops up. And yeah, read these classical books. And I just kind of wanted to give this as a resource because I know many of you are interested in reading. And I find that we have all these classics that very often are neglected because people would rather read modern novels, but many of these are really good. Obviously, they're written in, you know, Jane Austen, she was in the late 1700s, early 1800s. The way she writes is a bit different. What happens to me is it takes me maybe a while to kind of get used to it, like the first chapter or so. But then after that, you kind of run with it and you get more used to the way it's written, and it can be very pleasurable. So yeah, they have various versions of Wuthering Heights as well. And so anyway, please enjoy and let me know if you do enjoy. Let me know if you know any other resources where you can get classics for free. And because I think it's always interesting to be able to access these because many of them are very good. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you find this useful. I'll talk to you in the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye. Savedum.